Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's 2:50 in the morning and I'm wearing my PJs and I don't have any makeup on besides just a little bit of lip balm. But I can't sleep because I was in bed about to go to sleep and I found this video that's cold tea by now from June 9th of Ethan Klein explaining why Frenemies podcast is probably going to be no more and why TRISHA Paytas has quit again, but this time for good, apparently. And I am very livid about it. This is just such a display of selfishness that it's not even funny. I didn't watch everything because if you know TRISHA, they like to post a lot, several times a day. There's no editing. It's long. It's just them on the floor somewhere talking. So I'm going to try my best to make this as painless as possible for everyone. But I do have some very, very big opinions about this situation, even though I have nothing to do with it. But I really do want to touch on all of this because this is ridiculous. And I apologize. I have like no makeup on. I was in bed. I am oily because I put a bunch of creams before I go to bed because, you know, got to take care of it. And I know that none of you are going to watch this until probably tomorrow, maybe, or in the morning. I'm looking here just to make sure that this thing is on public because if anybody in the other side of the planet wants to watch this, it's live. We're good to go. But this all started on their most recent podcast. I am going to put that on right now so we can see exactly where things went wrong. And then I'm going to just interject, I guess. All right. Let me share with y'all this situation. Window, Chrome tab. I think it's a video about Frenemies number 39, where they're discussing Gabby Hanna. Let me see how it's looking right here. Okay. All right, cool. So that's the video right there. And this is where everything started at about an hour and 27 minutes. They were talking about Brokeback Mountain or something. They were talking about, well, before that, they were talking about Jake Paul and the boxing and all that stuff. I didn't watch the whole podcast. I just looked for the moment where the whole thing broke loose. So she started talking about Brokeback Mountain and she started like talking about the movie and things went sour really fast. Let me put the microphone near and let me know if you can hear it.
Because it's like 2004, but it is like,
don't spoil it.
Oh my God, yeah. So, well, basically, like they do fall in love with each other. They're both married to women. This takes place in the 60s or whatever. And then Jake Gyllenhaal gets like beat in the face to death for being gay in Texas. And then the wife, played by Anne Hathaway, like I think she was in on it at the end because she calls.
Not much changed since then in Texas, I don't think.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's what's so okay. I'm not trying to get all like heated about this, but there's still people are still like that. Like trans people are getting beat in their face to death.
I'm
like
so over that shit.
And so like watching it, I was just like, holy shit. And like Heath Ledger, Jake Gyllenhaal said Heath Ledger refused to make like gay jokes about it, like during the Oscars, and I don't know.
Is there a third pizza?
You're so not good about this.
So here is one of the parts where she actually complained on her video, and we're going to see that later. Just keep that in mind because she kind of like talks about how she was interrupted all the time. He was like interjecting, but this is a podcast. They're supposed to bounce back from each other. And if you are that sensitive about it, I mean, you should not hang out with people like me because my friends and I, when we are together, there's a billion conversations happening at all times. So her sitting in a podcast where they're just eating pizza and talking about silly stuff, it's just way too sensitive. But before I keep going, I forgot to talk about the YouTube things. And here we go. Before we keep going, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to drop a like on this video if you like this subject. I am going to give you a disclaimer right now. I am going to be very angry about the situation, and I'm not going to try to be political like I usually do, because on this one, I do have big opinions about Trisha. This is bad. So I generally try to be as fair as possible, and I try to see both sides, and I will still try to do that. But here is very difficult. Anyways, lately, some of you guys have told me that my videos have not been showing to like recommended lists and things like that. So really appreciate if you guys share this video with your friends and I don't know, talk about the video. But just let's keep going. So she says to him that he's not good at this stuff. And then she keeps going. Or they. Now Trisha goes by them and they as their pronouns.
Okay, let's go to your stupid. Sure I don't like this segment. Just for the record, fan advice is a stupid segment.
Why?
We can do it. It's so dumb. What's the point?
To give advice to our fans.
But that's not the like. Oh, no, that's like when people run out of ideas and they start doing Q&As. Like Tyler, we ran ideas. He's like, we're gonna do Q&As now because we have nothing else to talk about.
Just for a little bit of context here, I think Ethan has posted on Twitter, I want to say. He's going to go over that on his video that we're going to go and watch as well. And he just posted there something along the lines, you know, if you have any questions or anything for us, let us know, tweet us or whatever. And Trisha and I are going to hash out for you. And that's what she's talking about.
Okay, go ahead. It's such a dumb segment.
It's so not. It's
like we have nothing to fill the time.
Okay, well, what, you want to talk more about the Brokeback Mountain, a movie from fucking like 10 years ago?
It's like a lazy podcast. Like, we're going to play games on the, like, you know.
A lazy podcast. You don't do anything for it. You just show up. We do all the work.
Oh, my God. Yeah, right.
How am I wrong?
With what? I always contribute. You never, like, first of all, when you were doing all the podcasts, it was like Keemstar, Jake Paul, like, and everyone's like, we're so sick of hearing about this because it's everything. Like, I saw on this, you had stuff from last H3. You just recycle H3 content on Frenemies. You're like, oh, we're going to do Trisha through the history meme or whatever. And like, you already did that on the last episode, and I saw it on here.
I didn't bring it up. I didn't say it.
But the fact that it's already on there, like, I had to bring up all these other topics because I'm like, I don't want to go to that because you brought it up last week.
Let's see. We put together this Gabby Hanna segment.
I mean, I literally, again, could have done that for my head. I always chime in with my topics. Like, I always do because, like, I try and steer it.
What did you bring on the Logan Paul fight?
I brought it up, first of all, because it's trending.
You're like, I don't even know what to say about it. I don't even know why people watch.
I never pick the costumes. I never do the vlogs. I give so many ideas. I say dancing for the vlogs. I give all these ideas, and you don't. It's just
what's wrong with that advice
for you? I don't think it's a good segment.
The people want to hear from us.
Okay, do it.
First of all, I think that this should have been discussed in private. Let's just start there. It's very unprofessional what she is doing on camera. And I'm going to elaborate more on this. Sorry, I'm not meaning to be disrespectful. I'm just so used to saying she and her that this is the very first video I have made about them in a long time. And I think that maybe I have done one other video about Trisha. So it's kind of difficult for I to remember. So I apologize if it slips. And I'm going to do my best to keep catching myself and try to be respectful about it. But going back to this is something that I think that it should have been discussed in private.
I'm telling you my opinion. And all the vlogs we've done, I've suggested other vlogs, and like that never does.
Well, if you don't like it, then we shouldn't do it.
Okay.
Since there's a show about me and you.
No, but you're saying I do all the work, but I'm telling you I don't like all the stuff you do. I'm just kind of go with it because I'm like, okay, I guess this is what you want to do, but I have to start saying no because some things are just not good ideas.
I like it for the record.
Okay.
Oh, sometimes you got really interesting questions.
They're not, though.
Brutal.
I just don't like when we spend, like, well, whatever.
Go ahead, say it. There's a good script.
But you're asking, like, we do all the work. It's like, we spent one Frenemies rehashing all the stuff you said about Keemstar and H3 Live, which was 2 days prior.
Okay, it happened one time.
No, it's happened before where you just like bring up stuff that you've already mentioned, and it's fine. But
why are you attacking me?
You asked me, you said tell me, and I'm telling you, like, all your, just because you guys come up with everything doesn't mean it's good. It's recycled, a lot of it. So it's like I can come up with new ideas. A lot of it.
No. If you have ideas, I'm all ears.
I watch H3 Live and we talk about the same thing, and I'm happy to talk about it.
It's not always like that. It's happened before. I agree.
It happened last time. I thought it's happened a lot.
It didn't happen last time, did it?
The title was like pregnancy announcement, which is I'm happy to talk about the pregnancy.
We talked a lot about the pregnancy here.
But it wasn't the pregnancy announcement. H3 Live was. It's your guys' thing, which I'm happy to talk about. I'm happy for you guys, but to say like, oh, we don't recycle things, it's like, you know, you do, and it's fine, but I don't make it the same title because it's not an announcement. We're talking about your pregnancy.
I wouldn't say recycling. It's a different conversation.
The original one was Trisha's gonna, like, something, it doesn't have to be about me, but I'm just saying, like, the fact that it's a pregnancy announcement, again, when it's not a pregnancy announcement, because I'm not pregnant, you know what I mean? We're talking about your guys' pregnancy. It wasn't an announcement. You announced on H3 Live. Oh,
you thought that it would, people would think it was about you
being pregnant? Of course it was, because you...
Okay, so let me stop this right there. Okay, she's saying that they recycle stuff from H3 to Frenemies. I'm sorry, excuse me. Now, I don't watch H3 Productions with Ethan by himself because I personally do not like the whole, he has a bunch of like little jingles going on, a lot of sound bites in the middle of the talking. So you're talking, he's talking, and then the production's talking, and then there's like these little sound bites, and some of them are really annoying. And I try to watch H3 a bunch of times, and I only watch H3 when I'm making a video that involves him and his podcast. But otherwise, I've been watching Frenemies a lot more because they talk a lot more about topics that I follow. And even if it's topics that have been recycled from H3, if they didn't talk about them in Frenemies, I wouldn't go watch H3 just to find them. Sometimes I do, but I'd rather watch Frenemies because they're bouncing back ideas. So it's even if the subjects are recycled, it's a total different setup. You have two people in front of the camera with different ideologies or opinions, bouncing back ideas. It just doesn't make sense to me why Trisha, need to act that way. But anyways.
You are, unless you're just recycling the same title you did for H3 Live, which is, it's just like, I watch H3 Live. I don't want to talk about it on Frenemies. Like, if we're being honest,
well,
you
know. Well, we were going to talk about Hila being pregnant, obviously.
Of course. Yeah. But the title has to be pregnancy announcement.
I don't see why that's a problem.
Because you did that on Friday. You're just recycling titles. It's not an announcement. You weren't announcing it.
Okay, so Hila's pregnant, and I'm talking about it with Trisha. Would you prefer that?
Anything could be more creative. It's like the fact that you just talk about what you talked about the week prior is like, and I've seen other people call it out. It's not just me. Like, I mean, people have called it out before. Like the whole Keemstars, I didn't know it was like the 30 minutes was exactly the 30 minutes you did on H3 Live.
Again, I didn't know about the pregnancy, and I wouldn't have known from H3. There are people that will watch different shows and different channels and different series. There's people that watch Frenemies that may not watch H3.
Yeah, I agree. That part was...
That's crazy.
Sometimes I forget what I've talked about, honestly.
But you're saying you have all this crew that does all this work for you, and nobody could remember that you talked about that 2 days prior?
I agree. Somebody should have said something. I was like, guys, why don't you tell me when I'm talking about the same shit over and over? Because I tell to them, I go, yo, make sure to include this. And they go, oh, okay. But I go, oh, shit, I talked about the same thing. But I feel like you're so angry about this.
I'm literally not, but it's so funny. I'm not. I'm angry when you say something.
You need to admit when you're angry.
Ethan, I promise you, this is really is gaslighting. I go to a lot of therapy right now, and this really is. When I say I'm not angry, I'm not. I'm like just trying to tell you that you're like, oh, we do everything for the show, and I'm saying it's not always good. I'm not angry. If I was angry, I would like leave or something, but I'm not. But you telling me I'm angry
or something. You're not upset.
Not.
Okay. All right.
But it is like frustrating when you think you do all this work and like think, oh, we're doing all this great stuff, and it's like, it's not that great sometimes. A lot of it is, and I like appreciate all the work you do and stuff like that, but it's also like not that great. I don't get input on like people we hire, like all this stuff like that. I don't get
people we hire. Why would I ask you about people I hire?
because it's Frenemies and you take the budget for paying for the crew. That's what you told me. You take highlights, you take 5% to pay the crew. No, so why don't I get any input on the crew or what we do?
These are employees of our So
why are you taking highlights and 5% of Frenemies? You told me that it was to pay them, that they could be working
for production costs.
Okay, but you told me
at the beginning.
Costs. You told me at the beginning it's like they could be working on other things. So I made that argument too. I'm like, well, they're already H3. Oh, they could be working on other things. So I'm like, okay, in that case,
for production costs. I take 5% extra from the podcast revenue, and I take the highlights revenue, and everything else we split.
Right. So for production costs.
Yeah.
But again, you were about to move us all to downtown LA, and I was just like, but the production costs should be included. Yeah. Like you were going to share the cameras because Dan said, "Oh, we have to get new computers and new cameras." Well, I'm like, Frenemies has the budget.
And I obliged you. I said, "Okay, fine."
But you fought me on it
because we bought a studio downtown. That was always the plan, by the way, that we were going to move downtown. And then all of a sudden, I was like, "Yo," and I was like, "Yo, we're moving." I told you ahead of time, but it's fine because
you didn't tell me downtown LA.
We're still at my house now. But I said, "Okay." So I was like, "Yo, by the way, we moved into our new office. We're going to be there next week. It's good." And then you're like, "Oh, I don't want to go down there." But we had made all these plans to move the set and everything and to do everything. So you're like, I don't want to go down there. And then we talked about it for a little bit. And I said, okay, fine. And so we had to buy.
But that was the first time we ever spent money on production costs.
It's not.
Oh, my God, this woman. Them. You guys, again, I don't mean to be disrespectful. It's just, I just can't. And this is the first time I'm watching this. This person has no idea how finance work when producing a show. This person literally drives their pink Rolls Royce from their mansion to H3 production studio, sits there, eats pizza and talks, gets paid, leaves, and has no idea what they're talking about. Like, this is just so frustrating. Oh my God, this is driving me godly insane. Holy moly, I'm sorry, you guys. I haven't looked at the chat at all. So I've been watching this thing and I'm being like, oh, hey, Justin, how are you doing? Trisha said they're okay with she and her. Good to know. Thank you very much for letting me know that. Black White Records, hey, have you watched the Gabby Hanna video yet? No, I have not. I have been super busy, and that's why I sat here right now at 3 in the morning because I just she does the same gaslighting. It's very reactive. Yes. Oh my God, it's terrible. I heard TLDR version Gabby's video. Oh my God. Yes. Screw that Gabby video. I want to see that Gabby video. At least this time Gabby had proof of gaslighting claims. Oh my God. I'm not angry. I'm visibly upset. Exactly. Like, she's saying that she's not angry. And I can't understand, like, people like me, just like Trisha, we had like that squeaky voice. And I see sometimes when I'm trying to like get a point across or something like that, my tone of voice may sound a little upset because of the squeakiness. And the worst thing you can do is tell somebody like, are you angry? Calm down. You're sounding crazy, because that's going to like exacerbate things. But still, like, I learned over the years that if people ask me like, are you okay? Are you angry? You're sounding angry. I take a step back and I'm like, okay, so maybe I need to watch my voice. Maybe I need to watch my body language, because we can't just blame other people to be accusing us of being angry or being rude. You know, you need to stop and think about what you're doing, you know. Found gross she's posting without addressing the Justice Miles. Well, I have no idea of any of that stuff you guys are talking about. She seems unaware of the real world. Her world is real. Yes, exactly. Like, this person has a mansion. This person has a Rolls Royce. This person just sits in their kitchen and they edit no videos. They just put a title there. They just, whatever YouTube picks as their thumbnail, it's just whatever it's going to show on their channel. And they have millions of subscribers. And it's a very lucky thing. Like, I'm not saying that they don't deserve it, because at some level, they probably do, because they wouldn't have that following if they didn't deserve somehow. And I've made videos about Trisha in the past where they're coherent. They bring good things to the table. But at the same time, I can't sit there and be like, I'm not going to defend this. This is just entitlement at its finest. Yeah, being told to calm down is not the best thing. But anyways, so they're upset. They're angry.
Not about that, dude. It's literally about, we are producing the show and I'm taking a cut. I feel like that's beyond reasonable.
All the highlights.
Reasonable.
5%. 5%. Do you realize how much 5% was of our last one? That should be enough. But also like highlights, and then you weren't, the membership I had to fight for because you weren't, oh, I forgot to tell you about the members. Like,
I'm giving you 50% of all the members, even though we work and do all of the work. I don't know why you fight me on money. The deal you have is beyond reasonable.
Okay.
No, but I feel like a lot of frustration you have about everything with the...
Frustrated. When I'm bringing stuff up, you get defensive. I'm not frustrated. I'm pointing out these things because I would like to know. I just want everything to be a lot more transparent, because I'm like, what are the production costs?
I can't be more transparent.
Can you show me all the costs of production that you...
It's not like an itemized thing. We are doing the show. That's the cost.
So if you don't think 5% is like enough for the 5% the show?
And the highlights was what we agreed to at the beginning, and that's what it is.
Oh my God. Okay, if you think that's what it's worth, okay.
It's worth more than that, to be honest with you. You're getting a very generous deal. And the sponsors that we work to get, right? We do all the work to bring the sponsors.
I mean, I had 50%. All of Adam and Eve for the first like 20 shows. So I mean, I appreciate what you do, but don't act like I don't bring it.
You brought Adam and Eve, and so that was one sponsor we worked with.
That's all we had for the first like.
And now we have tons of sponsors every episode, because it takes time, obviously, to get the show up and pitching, and you get 50% of all of that. I feel like the deal you get is super.
Y'all, like, let me let this ad go through, because seriously, like, this kind of individual we need to care sometimes. All right, but it's those kind of individuals we need to care for. Something inside hurts them and they can't do themselves a lot of times. What do you mean? It's rough to do that, but even more rough dealing with someone you care about, self-destruction. Okay. All right. So we are going to get to her mental struggles, and we are going to get to that. But first, let me tell you guys a story. I don't know if you guys watched I made a little 2-minute or 3-minute video about the membership for the channel. And in one of the pictures on the membership of the channel, it's myself when I was 14 with my mom wearing little animal outfits. And if you haven't seen it, I think that the title of the video is Membership Unleashed or something like that. It's a very short little video promo for the membership of the channel. And when I was a little child, throughout my early preteens and teens, yes, my mom put me through theater school, modeling classes, etiquette, and all that stuff, because my mom was slender and skinny, and her mom my grandma didn't let her do those things. So she kind of lived through me until she actually was like, you know what, I'm going to do it too. So she became an actress. She became an actress, a producer. She started writing things and making music. She just like started like playing piano. She was just like going insane on the arts, right? And a lot of what she used to do was, if Trisha doesn't like her deal, Ethan can holler at me and I'll eat pizza and wear costumes. Yes. Oh my God. Dark Magician. And I know you're Jamal and you changed your name. And I wanted to say that the other day, but I wasn't sure, but I know your avatar. And I was like, I don't want to offend anybody. But then I saw you at Charlotte's and I was like, oh, it is Jamal. Damn. But hi, Jamal. How you doing? Well, anyways, so when my mom was doing the production of this play, where I was wearing that little animal outfit. Again, it's in my little promo for the channel membership. she used to have to herself found somebody to make those outfits. She went to thrift stores to buy boots for all of the actors. She bought all of the fabric of the outfits. She made sure that those outfits were made and done by the time of the play, of the opening of the play. She made sure that she found the theater. Like, that's what a producer does. And she needed the money, and she put the money forward, right? She put the money before the production was open. She spent out of her pocket for all of these expenses. She paid all of the actors. She paid the person that was at the box office. She paid for the sound guy. She paid for the rental of the place. Like, she paid for everything. And so I even pulled out on Google, right? A producer is a person responsible for finding and launching a project, arranging financing, hiring writers, director, key members of the creative team, the overseeing of all elements of pre-production, production and post-production, right up to release. And my mom actually even procured places for us to like rehearse, you know, and she did all of that job, all of that work with no pay whatsoever. She made no money until the play started going, right? Yes, the pizza curse is real, Justin. So when I hear people like Trisha looking dead in the face of somebody who is H3, who has his own production company, who knows what he's doing, right? And he has no obligation whatsoever to tell her what his books are. And we're going to get to that soon. It just makes me think, like, what about the Hollywood actors? What do you think? Can you imagine if a Leo DiCaprio or Anne Hathaway went to a production company in Hollywood and said, well, I'm the talent here, so I need 50% of whatever the box office makes? What do you think the Hollywood is going to tell them? Like, I'm not saying that H3 is Hollywood or anything, but she calls herself the talent, and he's the production. So it's just, the entitlements just drive me bonkers. It's just insane. Let me see if they're done with this conversation. Shoot. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Not.
Because it really is a source of, like, every time something comes up where it's like, I hired somebody or this, that, and like, oh, you don't do that much on the show.
I'm bringing attention to it. I'm not upset. I would text you. I would tell you if I was.
It comes down to, oh, you get this extra 5%. And so
because you're saying, why should I get an input on the employees? That's what you said. And you brought up to me that
they don't just work on Frenemies, they're my employees.
Okay, but when I said that to you originally, you said, oh, we pay the employees, they could be working on other things. So why don't we have Frenemies employees and I get input if we're spending 5% of the budget towards them?
I think that's not what it is.
That's what you said.
So then that's but I don't remember, but that's
gaslighting is telling someone how they feel, and you're telling me how I feel, and I'm telling you I don't feel frustrated or upset.
And this is see, it makes complete sense. Like, he was trying, this is what I see here on this conversation, right? He has a production. He already has his crew. Why would he start a whole new crew for a podcast when he already has a crew? And then he just tells her, like, let's just use 5% of the revenue and all of the highlights to pay for the crew. What does she want? Does she want that the crew he pays for H3 does extra work and don't get paid? Because that money has to come from somewhere. What does she want? That he takes it out or his cut? Okay, no. Like, I don't know what their contract is, but what it sounds like here is that the highlights and then 5% will go to them, which I'm assuming is 2.5 her, 2.5 him. Because it's his production. He invited her, which kind of, like, I assume from the conversation, I couldn't find anywhere on the internet what is the actual contract that they have, if they have one. What is the actual deal that they have? But I'm assuming here, based on the information from all of these back and forth that they have, is that she was invited to be a part of it. And she says herself that she's the talent, which already implies she should be just considered as a, I'm sorry, I wasn't even sharing. I just realized that. but she should be considered as like an actor, right? She is a part of the cast. The cast? Yeah, the cast. So she has no rights. In the end of the day, a cast member has no rights to know how is the budget of the production, where is the money going to the production. No, you just get your salary, and if you're not happy, you're not happy. Bye. You know, it's crazy. And the amount of times, that Trisha has walked out on this podcast is just disrespectful. It's insanely disrespectful. I don't know why. Let me type here to see if this works. I don't know why I haven't been able to scroll down. Yeah, it's not scrolling down, my dudes. Oh, I got it. All right, cool. Right, it's just insane. You know, like if you, it's just the greed. It's just that greed. That person is just so lucky to do minimal work on YouTube and still have millions of followers, and so blessed to have opportunities the way that they do, and act this way on somebody else's podcast that they were invited to be a part of. It's just a sense of entitlement. It's like, you getting a check. You literally go there, do this, eat, go home, and don't think about it until next week. That's a freaking sweet deal. Like, why are you complaining that you don't get to hire people? But that's going to be explained soon. It's so messy. I hate money talk. Yes, the relationship is too complicated now. I mean, they're family soon. Yes, they are going to be family soon, but, you know, they don't need to be involved in work, I guess.
So I don't know what else that could be. How am I gaslighting you by telling you I'm not feeling this way? How is that gaslighting you? I'm not feeling this way.
Okay.
I wouldn't show up. I wouldn't come here. I would, you know,
You listen, you can be upset and not because you could be upset and then also not be like, I'm not showing up. Fuck you.
I'm
like,
not
there's
upset.
levels.
If I was upset, I wouldn't show up.
I'm just because you can be upset and still show
but
up.
I'm not upset, and that's what gaslighting is. Because you're thinking I'm gaslighting you by saying
you're not upset. You're perfectly.
Oh, wow.
You're in a perfect condition right now.
Okay. Wow.
He's not.
Holy cow, that's crazy.
He's not helping. He's not.
I mean, I don't know how you. I just don't see what you just did. That's really.
What
crazy.
did I do?
We have to end it now. Like, really.
What did I do?
We got to stop for real. Really. We need to stop. Please. Please. Okay.
Whenever you're ready, you can walk away.
So. No, because I don't want to title this.
It's the pizza curse.
Can we just?
I'm not going to title it Trisha's thing. It's the pizza curse. It is. We shouldn't have got pizza.
So it seems like every time they get pizza.
The pizza? Oh no, it was pizza. Trisha, let me just say, I'm sorry.
Ethan, that you just did that. You're right. You're right. Nothing's wrong with you. But I go, you don't know how much therapy I go to a week. I go to 4 Zoom sessions a week.
No, I understand.
Ethan, what you just said was, you're right, Trisha. Everything's fine. That's insane. Like, the fact that you did that to me is like insane. It's not insane. We're friends. We're having a friendly conversation. I shouldn't have to walk on eggshells around everything I say. All right, Ethan, I'm asking to end this. I'm asking you. You can leave anytime, Trisha. But then you're making this thing where we're not ending the show, and you get to sit here and be like, okay, well, that just happened, and you're eating pizza, and then I will end the show the minute you walk. All right, so let's just end it. Please. Thank you guys for watching. And I don't want it to be a thing where you're just sitting here eating pizza and you become a meme. So then I'll say, I'm sorry. Okay. Obviously, I don't want to get an argument over I really need to leave. Okay. All right. We're done. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Wow. 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 All right. Okay. Oh my God. Listen. Hales. Let me tell you this. I am the last person. If you guys watch my videos, all right, I try to be as fair as I can, as I said in the beginning. And if you are a replay crew, thank you for being here. But I try my best to see every and each way, side, opinion, mindset there is. But the one thing that I cannot and I will not ever be willing to accept is somebody who uses illness to excuse their behavior, which that's what Trisha does. I apologize to say, like, and I understand if you go to my comment section and say, well, that person has a problem, they go to therapy, this, and that, right? And I cannot, and if somebody sits there and say, I can totally relate to them, even if I don't have that issue, but I can sympathize. I don't think that that's accurate. That's just my opinion, because since I don't experience the same issues they do, I cannot begin to understand, right, what they go through. But with that said, they understand enough to know that if it's okay for them to call Ila a C word, it should be okay for other people to give them the same courtesy. But people don't, especially Ethan. I've been watching Frenemies for a lot of things to get a lot of footage for my videos. And all I see is this guy like defending Trisha and trying to be fair to Trisha. And he even apologized to Trisha. And they still use their mental thing as an excuse to be like, oh my God, no, I go to therapy, I this, I that. I've met people who have been in therapy, who have had, issues that I don't want to say the names, people that eat and don't hold it in, right? They go to the bathroom and do their thing, but I don't want to say the word because I don't want to get this video more yellow than it's probably going to be. Because if it does, again, this video is not going to go anywhere. It's going to be buried within the algorithm and nobody's going to watch it. But the problem is you need to want to be helped. You can't sit behind whatever you think is going on in your mind and whatever issues you have and then justify all your shitty behavior and say, I go to therapy. Why are you not being nicer to me? No. Like, no. If you cannot understand how to be a decent human being, there's no amount of therapy that's going to help you understand. And that's so unprofessional. Like, this person has been to mainstream television. I doubted that they behave that way in mainstream television. I just can't understand this. I just cannot. It is not an excuse. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's crazy. For someone so concerned about mental health, I have never witnessed her showing concerns of other people's feelings. And that is so very true. So very true. Trisha is the first person to judge people, to talk smack about people. And don't get me wrong, sometimes they are right. Sometimes they're very correct. And sometimes their crying is valid, right? When nobody listened to them about the David Dobrik thing, and I was not on YouTube about that time, but yes. But things like this, it's what makes their credibility so bad. It's just crazy. Trauma isn't your fault. Your healing is. Yes. You do not get to treat people however you want and use your illness as a shield. Yes, exactly. And oh my God, I just couldn't deal with this. So Trisha, the next day, I think after this, decides to post a video talking about the situation. And I don't understand. It's called Stepping Down from Frenemies. They decide to do that. They decide to post that. I'm going to try to see if I can just, oh my God, this is going to be a long live. Exactly. Trauma isn't your fault. Yes, exactly. Just misgendered. It's completely fine. Like I have my best friend's daughter is transgender. And for a little while, they did misgender her, and it just takes some use to it. As long as, you know, as long as we try our best. I misgendered them in the beginning of this video just because I'm seeing red right now. You got some popcorn, good, because this is going to be a long one. All right, so here's Trisha. I mean, how can I make this bigger? Can I make this bigger? Oh, there you go. Okay.
Feeling the best in a situation.
All right.
And
so
Ethan getting like 100% of the highlights, like that's not an issue. That's the
Fall of 1993. I heard that.
Okay. So Trisha starts this video right here. Okay.
I just want to make this video because I had just a lot of anxiety yesterday and a lot of anxiety this morning. And I like slept on it, and even before sleeping on it, like I had this feeling in my heart that I need to step away from frenemies, and it's really, really with a heavy heart that I say that, because it is kind of like it's been my stability, my regular thing once a week that I like absolutely look forward to, and I really love doing the show. But having said that, you know, I was reading the comments, the members only went up, and a lot of people were upset by my little episode yesterday, and I usually wake up the next morning feeling like regret for the way I acted. But I realized this morning that and then last night, of course, I talked to Ethan, and you know, he was saying the crew was really upset with me, and they didn't want to film the vlog today, and I respect that, and I respect him being on their side. And Ethan and I had a lot of text conversations last night, and even before all that, before the crew thing, before the episode even went up, there's a lot of things that I just didn't feel right about. I want to say first and foremost that the 5% thing and Ethan getting like 100% of the highlights, like that's not an issue. The money is not the issue.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie, it's right here. I disliked this whole situation. I'm sorry. It's a 5 million subscriber channel. All right. And all this person said in the first 2 minutes of this video is I got anxiety. I this, I that, I this, I that. And then they say 5%, and then Ethan keeps the highlights. Like, where doesn't it fit in their mind that, first of all, it's not their place to care where that money's going to? Second of all, Ethan said it on the show that it's to pay for production costs. Like, yo, it's just, I need to be born again after this. Seriously, let me try to see if I can make this faster. Oh my God, it's already in 125. Okay.
From the beginning, you know, I thought that went towards crew for frenemies and, you know, vlogs for frenemies and all that stuff like that. Like, I really did. And like, I thought like I would have more of a say. And last night, and again, there's literally no blame in this on my end. You know, last night, Ethan's like, you know, H2 producers, you are the talent. And that's when I realized, like, it's different than what I thought it was. Like, I thought we were 50-50 building the show. I'm not, like, leaving frenemies sucks. And, like, sorry, I'm just getting like a little choked up.
So, if this person was told, I am the production and you are the talent, a talent is a hired actor, a hired person. If this person does not know what being a talent is, oh no, because I thought we were 50-50. No, like if you were told you were a talent, don't they have a freaking contract? Like, I don't understand. Okay, thank you so much, Black Core Records. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. It is late. It is like 3:30 in the morning. I just can't sleep because this thing is just driving me crazy. It is driving me crazy. I was going to do a live about the whole creep show art thing, but this actually just, you know, and if you guys want to watch it later, just do so, and that's fine. I didn't even expect to have all of you here who are here right now, so that's okay. Anyway, so that's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous that this person is like, oh yeah, I'm the talent, but I thought it was 50-50. This makes no sense to me. Like, ugh.
But my issue bringing that up was when he was like, why do I have to tell you about things that I'm doing, like people I hire and stuff like that? Because
he hired someone new, which I have no issue with. Like, it's a lovely person. Like, I don't have an issue with them. But I was like, oh, I thought like I would get to have a say. And we did, before the episode went live, we did have a discussion saying like I had a producer in mind that I think would be really, really great for the show, and we could do more things, because there was a couple triggers for me, and Ethan says like we should have to walk on eggshells, and so many people agree with him, and maybe that is true, right? Like that probably is true. Like I'm probably seeing something that like obviously, or I'm not seeing something everyone else is seeing. So I don't also want to put him in a position where he has to walk on eggshells, because like that's not fair to anyone. That's not fair to anyone in my life. That's not fair. It's comfortable. Like it's really, but at the end of the day, like it's really not my place anymore. Ethan, like, you know, like,
it was never their place. Like it was never their place. And if Ethan at any moment asked them, hey, what do you think about this producer? Or what do you think about this person? What do you think about that other person? It's just because he's being nice and he's trying to help out to make this person comfortable with the situation, but he doesn't have to. And that's a lack of understanding here. Like,
again, that's something I should have, like, don't talk over me. You know, just like new hires, I'd be communicating, and I'd be like, I just couldn't. And he was just talking over me. And like, again, that's something I should have, like, don't talk over me. You know, just like communicating, and it's like, I just couldn't.
They're talking about that part that they're explaining about the Broadback Mountain, and then he is interjecting and asking them questions, and then all of a sudden Trisha's talking about the movie, and then he offers somebody from the crew pizza, and then that's when this all started. We went through that. Like it's not that serious. Like, why do you need to make this so serious? And again, if it is that hurtful to you, and you know you have a mental illness, get some help. Don't blame other people, and don't justify yourself because you are very highly sensitive about the situation. And I'm not trying to blame Trisha. Please do not think that that's the point. But I just feel really bad for Ethan. Like, he's done so much for this person. Like, it's insane the amount of shit that he's taking.
So then we went to the segment part of the show. And apparently that was like this new hire's idea, which I truly didn't know that this new hire did this. And you know, he's like, well, that's rude. And then I was like, well, and then I said something that I was lazy or something like that. And he's like, well, you don't do anything. But I put up so many ideas for the show, and I like listed like aerial gymnastics, like dancing with the stars, like clay pottery, and the thing. And I like, it just got really frustrating. I did get frustrated. And I guess everyone's like, your gas, I was saying you're not. At the beginning, like I really thought I was just like being assertive, right? Like just saying how I feel. And then it did get into frustration, because I was like, oh God, I could feel it just all like.
Even if Trisha gave ideas, she's not in the production, right? So if the actor gives ideas, that's nice, right? If the hired talent gives oh yeah, we should do this, we should do that. But in a moment, they have to be taken, those ideas or those suggestions. So I don't know why.
I don't want the membership. I even said like, even so like I didn't know about the membership until like maybe like 3 months into FRENEMIES or whatever. So starting from that time that I asked about it is when I was getting 50%. And a lot of people like thought that was, I'm not getting 50% of the whole channel, whatever it was up until like February, like that kept there, and then I got 50%. And like, you know, if people think that's unfair, like, you know, I guess it is. I don't know what to say. Like, I thought,
isn't it fair? Like, this person already had a deal of being paid for their services, and then they complain that they're not getting money for the memberships. Now they are getting 50% of. Yo, I want to work for Ethan.
Was there some of the membership, because I kept seeing everybody on the things. Like, I signed up early, and I became a member just to see FRENEMIES early. And my solution at the time was to just not include FRENEMIES on the extra thing, because I'm sure me as a I could have built something. I'm capable of this stuff, you know. Extra channel. I would have loved to have FRENEMIES on my channel and like build up my channel. I could have built something. I'm capable of this stuff, you know.
So Trisha's saying that she would love to have FRENEMIES on her channel, that she can produce, or he, she, oh my God, they can produce. They're capable of that stuff. Have you guys been to Trisha's channel? As I said in a little while ago, like, there's no editing on these videos. There's nothing on these videos. There's this person. It's just driving me freaking insane. It is greedy, Hills. It is. Oh, good, Justin. Me too. Oh my God. He also has to provide insurance. Yes. Works comp, tax withholdings. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Aerodol, you're so correct. There's so much. Look at David Dobrik, who did none of that, right? Where he is now. And H3 runs things correctly. Like, 5% is nothing. Like, nothing. Oh, she had a podcast? I don't even know about that. So maybe it was that bad because I don't even know about it. Like, if she's they are so capable of doing it, making a successful podcast. How many subscribers does H3 have? Right? Let's see. Let me get my phone. Yo, this is just driving me insane. Man, these people. The entire, I wish I had like a fraction of the money of this human, because seriously, the lack of gratitude. H3, right? H3 podcast. So H3 has 2.99 million subscribers, right? And H3 has Ethan and Ela. They have whatever videos he posts. They have Frenemies. They have H3 After Dark. He has so many little shows in there. And she still has 5 million. She has over 2 million subscribers more than him. Like, that makes no sense to me. Like, she could do whatever she wants on her channel. She can produce whatever she wants. Like, I can have frenemies on my channel. Yeah, you can have whatever you want. You have 5 million subscribers. You don't need frenemies. So what's your problem? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. She can produce a podcast. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But I was like, well, it'd be nice to get like, because members, ships is a huge thing, whatever, as a producer. But it's like, I would have loved the opportunity to pitch in half for the set to, because I really do feel like I built the show like with them, like at 50-50. Like, I don't think I'm the main reason, because God knows my channel and my podcast doesn't do like what Frenemies does. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, I have like it wasn't doing what it's doing now either. And I feel like I helped build that.
So she had a podcast, as one of you guys was saying, and her podcast doesn't do nearly as well as H3's, right? That's what it looks like. And then Trisha says that they feel like that they helped build that. They might have, but that doesn't mean that they should feel like it's 50-50, because that was not the deal. It's just that podcast is more successful than the one that she has. And she could make another podcast and invite Ethan to join her in her podcast, and she be the producer of it. It's just the greediness. Oh my God, so greedy.
I know this sounds like I'm just being an absolute crybaby about this. It is the crew issue. And I am so sorry that I came across rude, but like, it's so weird because I don't feel sorry for talking about this and saying it, because I've been kind of like saying it since the beginning. Like, they're all so nice. The crew is so nice. We were building together. Like, from the beginning was like 5% goes to help the crew, and then the other goes to production costs. So I thought we were like building something, like it was going to be like a bigger, like, set bigger things, bigger vlogs, but it's just like, I felt uncomfortable with the bus situation. Just, it's his people. They have their jokes, and their friends. Everyone on the bus was like their girlfriend, which is, they were all so sweet and wonderful. There's nothing to say. It's just like, it's not, we don't have camera, we don't sound people. Like, I guess I'm just like, I don't know. I don't want people to be like, okay, you're so ungrateful. Like, that crew does H3, and they do. But if I knew I was coming in as a third H3 show, like, I swear, hand to God, not have done it. I'm sure this makes me sound even worse, but I'm just like having so much anxiety. And from the beginning, like, on like the first episodes of me being on H3, like the guys rating how I look, and if they would, or it was like if they would date me or have sex with me or something from the very beginning, was just like, it made me uncomfortable. I decided, even the very first interview, that like, I was like, I could be rude, I guess, because I was so uncomfortable with.
If you were uncomfortable, just quit. Just quit. Oh my God.
That was my frustration. Is like, should have been brought up all off camera, absolutely, and I feel like I have. And so I did a whole video just being so upset by like AB, and then like I forgave it, sorry, this is so old. Because then he's like, basically, the crew doesn't want to film tomorrow, and I get that, but then again, that's why I just wanted it to be separate.
They keep saying that the crew doesn't want to film the next day, right? And Ethan has a whole different other story. And then Trisha says right now that they want it to be a different crew. Why? Why are we going to incur more costs? Because let's say, for instance, these people already work for him. They probably don't charge that much, because it's just adding a little bit to their salary. So they're probably saving money by keeping the same employees, because the employee is just working one extra day. Now you're getting a part-time employee, or a employee that will only work for that one show. It's going to be complicated for that employee to get another job or another show that will cover whatever, for them to just be that one day a week. So you're going to have to pay them more to cover the fact that they don't have more days with you. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. Like I don't know if I'm making sense right now, but as a service industry person, I don't know if it works the same way with entertainment, but you're gonna work a schedule, right, for a show, let's say, or for a movie or something, right? And if you're working a movie and you have to be on that movie schedule, you can't get a second job because, you know, you're going to have locations you're going to film at. You're going to have late days. You're going to have early mornings. So you can't be just having two jobs and expecting that the production of that other movie or the other show is going to go around your schedule. So people working for H3 probably only work for H3. Like, am I being crazy here? If I'm being crazy, please let me know. Trisha says I could do X, Y, and Z on my channel. Yeah. Could is the operative word. Yes. They walk into everything. It's already set up. Yes. Crew, mics, light, etc. That's a lot of work to get even. Yes. Yes. That is exactly like the lack of understanding. Like, it's just insane. Oh, man. I don't even know who these people are you're commenting on. I'm just here. Oh, thank you. So I can offer anything here, my presence. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, you trust me, you don't want to waste your time knowing these people.
Just wanted it to be separate, you know, because now it is personal feelings attached. Like, he's like, the person that made the statement was upset, and the person that person's dating also works there, so like he's upset for her and doesn't want. It's not a place for me. Like they do have their system and it runs smoothly, and of course they've been having a podcast for a long time, and like they should like and even FRENEMIES, it's like he said it himself, like it's H3 production, like I'm the talent, like it should continue because it's such a good format. And
yeah, it is. And then again, as I said, it will probably save him money because he already has the crew, saves them time. You know, they already know what Ethan likes as far as, you know, how the lighting goes, everything else. And that's why the show is doing well, because they're working with the winning team. Why are you going to make another team? Because you feel uncomfortable? Like, just do your own podcast. That's ridiculous.
I think Ethan would do like great with another host. It was so good, right? Like when we were like, even at the end, I just wanted to like leave and just end it. I just didn't want to be that person to walk off and cry. I guess when it just like wasn't, he didn't want to end it. I just wanted to end it, you know? I just wanted to end it. Read the comments, like she's manipulated by crying. Like I can't help but cry.
I'm not going to say that she's trying to manipulate anybody. I'm not going to say that because it doesn't look like she does try to manipulate. I'm not saying, because that's why we try to be very careful here on YouTube, because words can be misconstrued, right? Sometimes people may try to manipulate people and you can clearly see it. I don't see that. I just see that she is a person who is comfortable using her illnesses to justify laziness in her behavior or bad behavior. So she does not watch herself. She does not watch what she's doing. She does not think twice before she acts. And she said in the podcast, Frenemy podcast herself, if I was angry, I would have walked out. Like, why? You being an unprofessional person. You are being unprofessional. If you're being hired to work from hour A to hour B, why are you walking out if you were upset? That's unprofessional. I had a check ride a couple of months ago where, no, not a check ride. I had a training a couple of months ago where I had an instructor who was, how do I say this? He was overwhelming me because he would ask me things that I knew I didn't have to commit to memory. And long story short, on my job in the Air Force, there are things you don't need to commit to memory unless they are emergency things. So you need to commit to memory, like, you know, emergency procedures, right? There's a fire, there is a rapid decompression in the plane. If there is an evacuation that needs to be done, that you need to know by memory. You need to know, like, you know, oxygen devices, masks, and things like that. But certain things about the aircraft that we fly, I don't need to know. But I need to know how to find it on the publications. And this individual was giving me minimal amount of time to find the information that he was asking me for, which was something that I didn't need to commit. And he just kept saying, you should know this. You should know this. You should know this. I got overwhelmed. I knew I was going to cry because I'm a human and I was overwhelmed. And when I'm angry and overwhelmed, I cry. I do. I cry. I cry a lot. It doesn't look like it, but I do. And I just told him, you know what? I just need a second. And I walked away from him. I cried what I needed to cry. I wiped my tears and I came right back. And I just finished my training, right? And I've been in other situations where other individuals made me cry, where I just cried and just kept going, you know? So I'm not saying that it's not okay for her, like she should not cry or she should man up and grow thicker skin. But if you cry, okay, cool, you cry, but you just need to keep going. Like, why do we need to like be like, oh my God, they made her cry? You know, like I just can't. Oh my God, I can't. It just makes me so sad. Trisha's very impulsive and entitled. Yes, most people would never dream of behaving this way in a professional capacity. Yes, yes. You would kill their careers. I think that this person has been very fortunate to have what they have. Like, I wish I had a freaking Rolls Royce. It doesn't even have to be pink. I can tell you how many times I've had to take a cry break when I worked at a hospital. Yes, exactly. Like, you don't just walk out. Yes. Oh, you're a nurse? I'm in nursing school. Hi. But yes, that's exactly what it is. Like, you're doing a job, you know? Like, it seems like that this person wishes that they were part of the production. I don't know. Like, it was very unclear when I started watching this. This
burst of like emotions comes out. Like, it really starts to feel like the walls are caving in. And I thought you were really rude to the crew. And in my heart, I just was like, I'm not really sorry for it. And I just wish I had one person on my side there. You know, Moses, he doesn't count. He doesn't got it. And it's a small thing, but it's just something where I just feel like, okay, like it really. And then yesterday, just, you know, hearing that, like, you know, he's the producer and he does everything. When I really tried hard to contribute and I really tried hard to like break my own stuff every week. And I feel like I did. I feel like I had topics and stuff. And it's just like it hurt me. And watch it back because like I don't feel like this is for me. You know, even if you have been like so freaking kind to me, like, and I hope it doesn't affect our like personal relationship.
You will.
Like, I really love it, but you know, at the same time, I was like, don't work with family, don't work with people you're close with. Like we just see things so differently. And let's get cameraman, you know, which isn't that expensive for like daily shoots. You know, I do them all the time. Like, not even my music videos, but like, you know, my dish with Trish, I hired like 2 camera guys and a producer that I like, and you know, like.
Again, we already spoke about this, so I'm not gonna take too long. Like, yes, Trisha hires a photographer. Yes, but Trisha films the way that she's filming right now, sitting in her kitchen. She's not even using lights. You can see the lights right there. Right? They hire a photographer for a day or 2. Great. But they're not paying health insurance. They're not employees. They're just like for hire. You know, it's they don't understand the difference.
This was years ago, so I'm like, I really like it. And I feel comfortable to go back. Like, it's just
whatever.
You know, they're all very close, right? Like, it's people that are like, you know, married or dating each other. You know, they're all like close. It's a close family. They've been together for a while. And it's like, I just don't fit in. And
So they're trying to say that the employees are just close together, they date each other, and then Trisha doesn't feel that they're included in it. Like, doesn't it matter? You're making money. You know,
I guess I do need to apologize. Like, I do.
Yeah, you do. Oh.
And I really do think it's because I don't fit in, and it sucks because like it is strictly a professional or. I guess, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's not personal, I guess. Like,
no, it's
rude, you know, and I guess I'm just thinking about trans people getting killed, you know what I mean? And, like, yeah, people were like, Trisha's crazy. Like, she does the costumes. It's like, I really don't think I ever suggested one of the costumes because they were like.
She's rambling.
I just don't think, you know, I just don't think it's like this from I think the show could be as equally successful because I don't think I can do a podcast with someone else and have it be the same. I do believe he can. I do think he carries a lot of the sense of humor of the show. Like, I really do believe that.
Yes, he does, because he knows what he's doing. And clearly you don't know.
with like the people kind of, I just never was a fan of that.
Okay, there's a lot of crying here. There's a lot of.
It kind of always had my back, like, you know what I mean? Like, he really did.
He did. So in the end of the day, this is the crying moments, whatever. So this is all she did, right? And then in the next day, I'm just going to stop this because this is driving me insane. The next day, Ethan posted a video. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, I'd rather have it. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Hey, burning tears when I'm super pissed off and frustrated. Yeah, sometimes you have to, but if you must cry, you just cry, you know? Ladies, you don't have to have super stellar jobs. Yeah, to cry, trust me. I used to cook and went to join storage and freezer, and it made me cry. Girl, yes, it's just. So here's the thing. The next day, Ethan posts a video about the TRISHA quitting, right? The podcast. I'm trying to make this. Oh no. Okay, there you go. So.
Hello, everybody. Not a typical episode, obviously. I just wanted to come out here and kind of address everything going on with the frenemies. Obviously, you know, there's a lot I want to say about it, and a point where I'm just gonna start from the top. Like, first of all, I'm gonna say about Trish, like the whole breakup is that, like, Trish has been saying a lot of things publicly, which has put me in a tough spot. Because on one hand, obviously I want to respect her, you know, well-being, but at the same time, it's like she's kind of tied my arms because she's saying a lot of things publicly that I feel I need to make some corrections on, and just, you know, to speak up for myself. And I want to do this in a way that's respectful to her, because my intention is not to like burn the bridge or to blast her or anything like that. I just want to give people what I think is a fair account of everything that's happened. And so I say with peace and love that, you know, as a friend, I have come to love and appreciate Trisha, you know, as a partner. I think she's one of the funniest people I've ever known, one of the most talented people, you know, one of the most dynamic and entertaining people I've ever known. And so creating Frenemies with her is going to be one of the all-time highlights for me. It's been such an amazing ride. I've learned and grown from it so much on a personal level through the lens of like...
Okay, he talked about a lot of love.
Appreciation and love for Trisha, and not at all trying to burn a bridge, but more just trying to, you know, defend myself or correct or set the record straight in some ways, because, you know, it's like with Trisha, she puts me in these tough situations where it's like I'm losing no matter what. She can say whatever she wants, you know, which she puts out publicly, and then, you know.
And by the way, one of you is as a nurse, right? I don't know if you have noticed that Ethan might have carpal tunnel because he has like this tick. I don't know if it's because he has what is it called? He has a tick. I don't know if it's because of carpal tunnel or it's because of his other condition that I forgot the name right now. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but it might be that. Now I just realized, but I keep seeing him doing that, and I feel like, oh, is his wrist okay?
If I just sit and take it, everything's distorted. And if I say anything, then I'm the bad guy for, you know, coming after or something, which is not my intention at all. This, just for the record, is not, you know. So listen, I don't know what more humanly I could have done to prevent this from happening. Like, I don't know what humanly more I could have done. I feel like I have tried to accommodate her in every possible conceivable way, you know, to make this as comfortable, as equitable. I've been as fair as possible in terms of like money, creatively and stuff. She disagrees with that. So there's some things that I guess I want to correct. And, you know, since we're not doing the show, she's going to put stuff out there, and we're not sitting next to each other for me to be able to say like, well, no, this is what actually happened.
So this is the next day when she says that he came to her and told her through message or whatever that the crew did not want to work with her the next day or something like that.
Now she keeps going on about how there's creative differences with her and the crew. That was something she keeps talking about. And so the day after we shot, after we had like broken up, we had a conversation for the first time ever about her wanting to hire new staff that she would look for and hire to work on Frenemies. That was the first time we had ever discussed that. And after talking it out with her, I agreed. I said, okay, we can, you know what? Again, because I just want to make everything smooth and manageable. We had this big blowout. We talked the evening afterwards. I said, you know what? Let's hire a producer. You tell me who you want to hire, and I'll hire him. And he can work on some of the more complex ideas that you have, because she has ideas like, oh, let's do ribbon dancing. And it's like, okay, well, that's a fun idea. I agree. It's a cool idea. But like actually executing it, finding the spot, filming it, the logistics of getting all the equipment there, everything, you know, is the hard part that we do. So it's like, yeah, I have an idea to go to the moon. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's a cool idea, but like you have to figure it out.
Exactly. She doesn't understand the logistics of production. She doesn't understand. And oh, shit. Oh, it's the Tourette's. Thank you so much, Justin. I always worry about his wrist. I'm like, is he okay? Okay, so it's the Tourette's. Okay. So at least I feel a little happier. I mean, not that it's a great thing, but at least it's not carpal tunnel or something. How crazy is that? She's throwing nuclear bombs at this. She's been doing that. She called her fiance's sister a C word, right? So she doesn't care. She doesn't care. To be clear, I'm a nurse aide working to be a nurse one day. Ooh, I know he has Tourette's syndrome, does the wrist thing. Okay, cool. Yeah, I forgot the word. Thank you so very much. Yeah, I mean, wow, it's a lot better than carpal tunnel in my eyes. I'm sorry, but okay.
You know, that's the hard part. So she said, okay, I want a producer. I said, you know what? It's a good, I don't even hate the idea. Let's get a producer who's going to work with you to produce your ideas. I love it. So I agreed, you know, and I said, let's just chill out for a few days, let things cool. I'm down to hire this producer. And then, you know, the next day, without telling me, she drops this video. She's quitting Frenemies, which took me completely by surprise. And I was just, you know, I was honestly, I don't know, from a business partner perspective and a friend perspective, that video really rubbed me the wrong way.
This is the one thing that confused me. He says business partner. So I really wish I knew what is the deal that they have, because she says that she was a talent and he's a producer. Now he says a business partner. So those are different kinds of words. They're partners. It shouldn't, I mean, unless their contract or whatever has different things. I need more information. I really do.
Because I woke up after having a conversation with her where I agreed that everything she wanted to do. And I wake up to her being like, saying all this stuff about private conversations we had and saying, oh, it's the crew's fault. It's the people on the crew were unhappy, you know, and like, I don't know. I just felt like that video was just so unnecessary. And
agreed.
I just didn't get it because I had done everything possible. I didn't get it. I was like, oh, I'm down. Let's do it. You know, in the long stream of things that I'm willing to do to keep her happy. And it's just.
And he has.
I don't know. You know, she goes on about how, like, we hired Sam, who's Ian's girlfriend. And by the way, I explained to her, she said, why don't I get to hire people? Why are you hiring this new person? I immediately explained to her that hiring Sam had literally nothing to do with Frenemies. We have a big production company. We produce a lot of content. Sam has been working for us freelance for months. And she recently became available for full-time employment. So I said, this is great. I like Sam. I want her to be on the team. And I'm going to hire her as my production company. I said, why should Trisha have a say on who I hire for my production company? It literally has nothing to do with Frenemies. And I explained that to her. But the thing that we discussed, you know, that was kind of like a non-starter is she told me that she wanted a whole new crew for Frenemies because she didn't feel comfortable with them. She wanted a whole new space. She wanted a whole new crew. And it just, I don't know. It's like she couldn't meet me halfway. I was like, yes, producer, whole new crew. We need to essentially fire everybody that's worked on this show from the beginning, find a new space, and change everything.
The amount of money.
And I don't know. For me, that's kind of a non-starter because it's like, first of all, just on the face value, it doesn't make sense. Like Trisha, from the beginning, we didn't know how long the show was going to go. We put up the money. We took all the risks for a show that she's already walked out and quit 3 times. So she wants me to hire people, lease an industrial space, of which, by the way, the leases are usually 3+ years.
Sassy Cat, a video. Trisha has posted about 5 or 6 videos on that situation alone. And at least 4 of them are like 40 minutes long. I didn't watch all of it because I think I have my opinion about the situation. And I do believe Ethan more because he makes a lot more sense here. And I'm going to show you why on his video. And then I'm going to show you some things that she said on her part 1. Attack of Ethan. I think it's called like part 1, Ethan's Lies or something like that. I haven't watched the other ones, so I don't want to just sit here and be in a 3-4 hour stream with you guys. But I think that I've watched enough stuff to have a good idea of what's going on in my head. But I'm gonna watch the other ones eventually, maybe tomorrow at the airport. And then if I change my mind about how I feel, I will go and jump into another live and rectify with you guys. But yeah, they make a ton of videos about everybody. Yeah, they should have contracts. If what Justin said and Haley said is true, she's having a serious self-sabotage moment, and the kitchen floor videos are a comfort for her. It's sad. I mean, I'm fine with the kitchen videos. I'm fine that she's a creator. They are a creator that don't edit. They are a creator who don't make thumbnails. That's completely fine. If that's what works for them, and clearly it does, I'm fine with it. But to not get all greedy and do this, like, this is just sad. She definitely has a weird thing for it. Oh, you think? Oh my God.
On industrial spaces for something that she's inevitably going to quit. Like, I mean, it's happened 3 times already. So like, and guess who's going to take all the risk on that? Me. I'm going to risk my ass. Like, I've done this whole process. I've put up the money. I fronted everything because I believe in this. But now it's like, I don't know. I feel like she's rewriting history a little bit on how this came to be. But again, the logistics don't make sense. I can't go hire people and get an industrial space and buy equipment for something that's like so uncertain. I mean, it doesn't make sense. You're just going to mess with these people's lives, waste all my time and money. It doesn't make any sense. So for me, besides the crew being extremely capable, extremely hardworking, they've busted their asses every week to put on the best show possible. Every Sunday night and the week preceding, we're working. It's the weekend, and we're working on Sunday to put the show together. And so it is disrespectful and demeaning to them to be like, we need to get rid of all of them and hire new people. The people who have worked their asses off to put the show, to make the show possible. Because at the end of the day, when me and Trisha don't talk all week and Sunday comes around, it's my responsibility and the crew's responsibility, therefore, to put on a show that's actually going to work. Because it's not my thing to just show up and not have a plan. And so there's so many weeks where we don't talk in between the podcasts, and it falls to me and the crew to make sure that there's a show with a plan, a structure, with resources, with everything cited and prepared for me. You know what I mean? Everything takes work. Nothing is easy. You know what I mean? Maybe it looks easy to her, like we don't do anything, but everything takes a lot of work. We work a lot all the time. And these guys don't deserve to be like, we need to fire. I want to fire all of them and get rid of them, hire new. It's like, okay. Well.
And I don't even script my videos, right? But I do some basic editing, some music, I make thumbnails, and sometimes the filming and all that stuff. And sometimes it takes me about 10 hours to edit a video. Sometimes I have to do it for days. But Trisha does not understand that concept because of the fact that her channel runs on sitting on the floor of the kitchen ranting. As I said, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to run your business like that, that's completely fine. But you need to do research before you do that kind of stuff about other people's and say like, oh, what do you do with the money? Like, you know, because what is Trisha thinking that I don't need all of, like, I just can hire 1 or 2 photographers and I'm good. I don't know how difficult it is. Why is it difficult for him? Because you don't understand how things work and it didn't research on it. So first learn before you can talk to people about it. Like, it's just so disrespectful.
Well, that's a non-starter for me for multiple reasons. And so, you know, this is where maybe I fucked up. Okay. Is that I was talking to the crew like, Trisha wants to, I was like, listen, Trisha wants to hire a new crew. I was just being transparent with them. I was like, Trisha wants to hire a new crew. Obviously, that wasn't something I was going to commit to, but I was just like, I don't know what to do about this because this seems like it's not going to go anywhere. When the crew found out she wanted to fire them all, they were there. First of all, they've always been down to go work and do the shoot as we schedule it. They are good, loyal, you know, hardworking employees that are down to get the job done no matter what. I had done a temperature check. Like, how do you guys feel about going to do this? Because there was just people like, you know, the vibe was like, Trisha wants to fire you guys and hire new people to do FRENEMIES. And also, do you want to go meet with her and shoot tomorrow? And so obviously they were like, well, it's a little awkward, right? But of course I'm willing to do it. And so I made the executive decision as their boss, trying to foster a healthy work environment, that let's just not do the shoot tomorrow, bearing everything that's happened, and take a few days to chill off.
Right? Okay. He might have messed up. because he didn't have to tell them, right? That Trisha said that. He definitely didn't have to. So he's just putting a little bit of fuel on the fire. There's no need for that. But at the same time, Trisha kept saying that the crew didn't want to work with her. So where did she get that idea from? Like,
and so in the context of that conversation, I think Trisha understandably came to take the meaning like, oh, they're on strike. That wasn't the case. They were always down to shoot it. And I made the decision to not shoot immediately after taking a temp check and after everything that happened. So, you know, and then another thing that's like really unfair is that she keeps saying things like one of the employees' girlfriends, you know, who was hired without my consent, again, had nothing to do with you, nothing to do with Frenemies, hired for my business, is the reason why, you know, this is all like falling apart, is because she was offended that Trisha didn't like the Q&A or the advice segment that we were planning. First of all, I thought it was Sam's idea. It was just an idea she pulled from a document, but she did the work preparing it. I don't think it really matters whose idea it was. The fact that Trisha was just going to sit there and trash their work was kind of unacceptable to me, because ultimately I have to create a safe work environment for my employees. And it's just kind of toxic to sit there and shit on their work, whoever did it. It doesn't matter who did it.
See, he calls him, they are his employees. Like Aerodo said earlier, like he has to have insurance for them. There's so many expenses that Trisha is so oblivious of because she doesn't have any employees. And he is being very, very gracious, like Aerodo is saying right now, intolerant. Yes, yes. And as this video progresses, I feel so bad for him, because you can see the frustration that yeah, exactly. And I think that's called what? That's called is it projection? No. Is it projection? Or is it justification? I don't know. Nursing 101 was a month ago, too long ago. But yeah, she's projecting what she actually feels onto them, saying like, oh yeah, they don't want to work with me. They don't like me. It's just that, yes, you're correct, Sassy Cat. The only small thing Eden did wrong in this whole thing was for him to approach the crew and immediately say, Trisha wants to fire all of you. Yes. Yes, yes. He shouldn't have done that. Now Trisha is going around accusing him of SA, and I say, oh, wow. But that's kind of like, oh, she is going too far. Too far.
But I do want to say for the record that that's not what happened. Sam was not upset that she didn't like the work. If anyone was upset, it's because she said that she wanted to fire everybody and get a new staff. That made people uncomfortable. Like, not only is Sam now getting shit on her like social medias, people have gone out of their way and been like, you're the reason Frenemies is over. People are going to like AB's wife, people are going to Dan's girlfriend, and just like random spit firing shit at them with the chance that that's the person Trisha was talking about.
Okay, so before we keep moving on, I forgot to give you guys that disclaimer. Please don't go shit on anybody. Leave Ethan, Trisha, Trisha's fiance, Trisha's, if she has any pets, her Rolls Royce, leave them all alone. Let's just talk smack right here in the description box, or follow me on my socials and let's talk smack. I just tweeted Trisha's trash. Let's keep the conversation going, but don't chase these people and talk about them to them, like say mean things, because it's just unnecessary. These people are just. Trisha is already stupid on their own.
And it's just not acceptable, you know. And this was part of a private conversation that she made public to try to justify why she wanted to leave the show. And that to me is just, I don't know. It's just not cool to do that. I really don't like seeing the crew get shit on for no reason. I have some responsibility to take good care, like to, you know, create a healthy work environment for my employees, and that kind of stuff where she's just taking private conversations and putting it out there that's resulting in like Dan's girlfriend being harassed is just, I don't know. To me, it's unacceptable. And I don't know. I guess some people disagree with me on that, but busy, repetitive. The segment was horrible. It doesn't matter who prepared it. It's like, it's just not professional to do that on air when the crew is there. It's her first day. And, you know.
Oh, so this person, Sam, who has been hired recently, was there the first day. And Trisha was saying that the segment, which was allegedly Sam's idea of getting like people's questions through Twitter so they could like put it on an episode, Trisha said that it was a bad idea.
Now, ironically, you know, Sam is a huge fan of Trisha. She's the one that like built the Steamies award for her and bedazzled it and made the little Peeps Rolls Royce. Like Sam loves Trisha, and it was just I don't know, it just wasn't cool that she's gonna shit on her work on her first day. And so she's been a trooper. She's getting shit, and she was never mad. I think when I was talking to Trisha, I said that I told her Sam's not upset. It was just the whole thing is stupid. You guys, I understood the situation. I told Trisha that is because she said she wanted to fire them all anymore. I mean, the whole premise of the show is that we have this openness with each other, which is exactly what happened, you know. She called me, you know, she said the most horrible thing. She said, I'm a terrible parent. He was a terrible parent. And for me, it's like, okay. And I understand, again, that she has mental health like health issues, but at the end of the day, it's just not, I don't feel like it's fair.
It's not fair. We talked about this.
Even though she has those issues, it's just, I can't be her emotional punching bag. And then the minute I speak up for myself, it turns into another like show ending fight. It's just not a fair relationship.
It is not. He's right.
Seem to really give any credence to that. Like, I have depression. I'm medicated for that shit. 20 milligrams Lexapro every fucking day. My dick feels like a piece of wood.
Oh my God. It's just not.
You know, I have Tourette's, by the way, something that she continues to Tourette's. I don't like it. And I tell her that, but I always ask her to stop doing that. Insisting that everything,
that's, by the way.
This,
because as we were talking about, like, she's always excusing herself on her problems, right?
Side effect. And I'm fat, by the way, also a side effect. You know, I have Tourette's, by the way, something that she continues to tokenize, which always makes me uncomfortable. I always ask her to stop doing that. Insisting that everything I do is, oh, that's Tourette's, that's Tourette's. I don't like it. And I tell her that every time. And she keeps doing it. So, like, you know, it's just not fair. Like, I take all the shit and she takes no shit ever anymore.
That's true, right? She cries on her video on her floor and says that people don't care about her, people treating her like shit. And we already discussed this.
You know, even here when she says like, oh, I put out so many ideas. Here.
I said something that I was lazy or something like that. And he's like, well, you don't do anything. But I put out so many ideas for the show. And I like listed like aerial gymnastics, like dancing with the stars, like clay pottery and a thing. And I like,
okay, so that's the extent of her involvement. She says, here's ideas. And I said, great, let's go to the fucking moon after that. It's like an idea is just a fart in the wind unless you fucking give it a sniff and internalize it. I don't know if that analogy is good. But it's like, that's the fun part, you know.
It's so funny. I'm sorry, but the crew is like so awkwardly like not getting involved in it. They're like, we're not gonna get involved. Like, I feel bad for them.
Oh, let's go build a habitat on Mars. Sick. How do we get there?
Wow.
You know, the tour bus. That was very hard to put together. That was very hard to put together logistically, you know. And she like tore it apart. She was very rude about it, saying that it was unprofessional. People didn't know what they were doing. It was just the cast girlfriend on the bus, this and that. It's like, yeah, it was the cast significant others and friends and family because you know what's the legal issue of trying to get a release from random people? I mean, we put that on in like a week's time. And I thought it came out great, all things considered. And then for her, it's just never good enough. Like, it was shit. The sound was awful. The video was awful. It was super unprofessional. It's like, okay, not good enough. You know, and then here's another thing that was like super unfair is that the night after she posted, or the day of after she posted her I'm Leaving Frenemies video, I texted her trying to be mature and handle it personally, like off the internet.
I'm going to give you guys a suggestion, right, that I learned over time. And most of you already know about this, but a very good way to avoid that kind of situation that she's putting herself in is that whenever you have a problem with something and you feel like something is not working correctly, like this is not good, I don't like it, think what the solution could be for it, right? So whenever you approach somebody and say, hey, I don't like this is a bad idea, or this is a stupid idea, why don't we do this? Think about another solution, because if you can't think about another solution, don't say anything. That's what I think Trisha should have thought. Oh, this is a stupid idea. And then she should have gone ahead and think, okay, what else can we do? You know? And like he said, oh, she gives all these ideas, but now if it's pottery, if it's dancing with the stars and whatnot, like now what's the logistics of it? You're giving an idea that's going to be either very expensive or it's going to be very labor intensive for everyone. So don't just toss the idea there and hope that people are going to pick it up and make it happen for you, because you're acting like you want people to do things for you, but you also want half of the money. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
I said, you know, I just want to be honest with you and say I felt it was really unfair how you put that video out. Okay. Video, 30 minutes later, fucking Instagrams. It's just like, It's like, dude, I'm a patient man, but I'm not like superhuman situation. And once again, I'm into this impossible position where it's like she can say and do everything, put out all these videos, tweet, DMs, and private message and shit, and I'm just supposed to sit here like a fucking like Gandhi. Well, the Buddha was skinny, so I don't even know where that comes from. You know, to be an adult and salvage the situation. She keeps like pushing the situation into this possible unsalvageable situation to the point where, and it's like not only that, but now I'm being forced to sit here and make a video that I never wanted to make in response to all the stuff she put out there.
I feel bad for him.
Oh, this questions is so dumb. It's lazy. It's crap. I hate it. I mean, the day before, she retweeted it unprompted. I did not even ask her. I told her about it. We went over the questions. She was happy about it. She liked it and retweeted it. I didn't.
So this is the idea that allegedly that Sam, the new employee, had, and apparently she retweeted it.
Ask her to do that. She did that unprompted. So now all of a sudden, it's like this is the duality of Trisha that's just really, really bad. And she liked it. She agreed. You know, it was a work in progress because we just posted it and we had only a few questions to show from because Sam said there was like 2,000 emails to go through. And it was something people were excited about. The fans were excited about it. I thought it would be fun. And again, we went over it before the episode and she liked it. So it's not like I blindsided her and she was against it the whole time. That's just not true. She hates the Uncle Fester costume idea that we pick all the costumes. And like, here's her message about it when I pitched it to her, you know, originally. And I'm not, look, I know this is like a DM.
I love the receipt.
But I do think it's important to illustrate the realness of like how difficult it is to navigate this space with her. Because she putting out like how much she hated the costumes. It was my idea. She never wanted to do it. She doesn't even know the character. She says, I don't even know this character. I sent her this picture. I said, costume idea? She says, laugh my ass off. Oh my God. This is one of my all-time favorite movies. Can we? I love her. And we said, okay. And then Trisha went to her tailor, had the costumes made. And so how am I supposed to, how am I? It's like, I'm in this part. She loves it. It's one of her favorite movies. And then she hates it. She doesn't even know who the character is. And it's all my idea. And, you know, fuck me for even making her do this. It's like, I don't understand. What am I supposed to do? That's what I mean. It's like, I can't humanly do more. She expects superhuman care. She expects, I'm working in the constraints of a mortal mind. Dude, it doesn't seem like that much to ask. We rent the space. We film it. We use our equipment. We employ the people. We edit it. We upload it, we post it, we get that. Sponsors, we rent the space, we film it, we use our equipment, we employ.
Everything he does.
I'm not a superhuman, you know what I mean? I don't have like psychic abilities, unfortunately. I'm working in the constraints of a mortal mind. This is, and then she brings up this 5% cut thing where it's like, dude, it doesn't seem like that much to ask that I get a 5% cut to cover everything that I've spoken about. We pay for the set. We rent the space, we film it, we use our equipment, we employ the people, we edit it, we upload it, we post it, we get that. Sponsors, we develop the concepts, we work all week to prep the segments, we pay for the insurance, we do the accounting and the payroll. I send her a fully itemized report every month of.
Oh, so he does send her. He does send her the accounting. How dare he do wash? You're right. Oh my God. I don't know where Trisha gets off to criticize the quality of anything. 2 years ago, Trisha was shooting garbage to subscribers. Oh my God, seriously? Holy moly. Oh, I see. Yeah, it looks like he's like moving it more. I'm working the constraints of a mortal mind. I love him. Like, he's so funny. I love him. And he's saying that he sends her an itemized summary. So what the fuck?
Literally everything and how the expenses break down and her cut. And the fact that she would even accuse me of not being transparent is honestly very hurtful because I've gone so far out of my way to be as transparent as possible. I show her literally everything. I have our CPA preparing a monthly report, itemizing literally everything.
He doesn't even have to do that.
We pay for all of that. We do all of that. We work on Sundays to prep the show. And she's complaining that 5%, she's apparently like, I want to say how that 5% is spent. The 5% is already spent on everything I just said. There is no production company in the world that would do all that for 5%. More like 50% or even more. The 5% is a family rate. It's literally nothing. It might not even be covering our costs, to be honest with you.
Probably not.
It's as close to nothing as humanly possible. And one of the great efforts I've always made to be as fair and transparent and accommodating to Trisha as possible. But it's like she always keeps going back. Like, I have a say to say what the 5%.
That's terrible.
How did you hire Sam without consulting me? It's like, I'm sorry, this is our business. She's not just working on Frenemies. Why do I need to consult you who I hire for my business?
Yeah.
It seems outrageous. And then she starts going, I want an itemized breakdown of how that 5% is spent. And I'm like, dude, it's not like that. It's a fee. It's a production fee. I'm not giving you itemized deduction of the entire business. It's like these absolutely unreasonable, unimaginable bars that I can never reach. Someone who has done everything possible to reach every bar she set, and that's one she keeps setting it higher and higher to the point where it's like that is unhumanly possible to reach. And then she has the audacity, and I'm just gonna be honest, this was so. She starts tweeting out our DMs, and this is just not acceptable behavior. And listen, I know she's like I appreciate.
Nobody should do that. Nobody should do that unless you have permission from the person. Like, that's so unprofessional. How this woman, oh my God. All I can think about when I see this is like, how does she have a Rolls Royce? How?
The mental health concerns that she has. But like, there's only so much that I can tolerate as a result of that. And she starts tweeting out our private messages talking about the show. This was a message before the show ever was made. We had not even made one episode. It was all theoretical. I said, I think I need 55.45 to cover the cost of production. And she showed a screenshot of her saying, I'm being Jewy, by the way. You know.
Wow.
Why did she post this? Why did she post this? She posted a screenshot of herself calling me Jewy. For wanting 5% to cover the massiveness of this production.
The crew's not even saying anything. They generally talk.
And again, it's like, she can say whatever she wants about my being Jewish. She can make all the stereotypes, do everything she wants, and I can't ever fucking say shit. The minute I say anything to her, then it's like show's canceled. You know, it's just not an equitable relationship.
It's crazy.
And then here's another thing, you know. We bought a whole new studio that we're in right now. She says on one hand, she doesn't want to come to my house, and she feels uncomfortable. So we bought this studio. She says she doesn't want to come all the way to downtown LA, or she says she has trauma about downtown LA. She doesn't want to be here, whatever. I'll be honest with you guys. She knew from, okay, whatever. Without getting into he said, she said, I was under the impression that this was understood, that we were going to be moving to LA eventually. I mean, when we started the podcast, it was in the basement. The basement was always temporary, but we owned this building by the time. Yeah, we already what? Yeah, it was just because of COVID. We were in the basement. We had already owned this building. It was always the plan to move down here. But then she says, I'm not moving. I'm not going doing the show downtown LA. So she said, she starts to get like, okay, if you guys don't do it here, you guys need to stay at the house. And so I said, you know, we had a little back and forth, but ultimately I was, again, trying to appease and do everything humanly possible to make this work for Trisha. We spent $30,000 buying all new equipment, cameras, switching board, audio equipment, microphones, everything.
Wow.
So that we can continue to do it at the house for her. And she keeps bringing up this like, well, you get 5%. So you like, what is that for? You need to be paying. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let's keep the show going. Let's do it at the house. I'm going to spend another $30,000 on the already $50,000 I spent on the set. I don't complain about money. I don't give a fuck about it. I really don't.
Wow.
It's like, I don't know, dude.
She's a terrible
And so then
person.
we spend all that money on that shit, and then she's not comfortable going to the office, and now she's not comfortable going to the house because the crew's there. You know, the merch issue is another way that just is super, super sad for me, in the same way of how she just like wants to cut the whole crew loose. Because first of all, we fronted the money, we produced, designed, and made in its totality. Hila did. Hila, despite Trisha saying the meanest and rudest things about her, knowing that there was a chance that the show might not work out, you know, made the risk, used her company's resources, and you know, for Trisha to just like walk out. I mean, we have this merch release. Every penny I've made from Frenemies, by the way, if she wants to talk about money, is tied up in this merch. It doesn't come out for another month. I don't even know if we're going to sell. So
Trisha is such a lucky individual. These people are like doing everything for her. Ugh.
Like, for all the complaining she does for money, she's the only one, as far as I'm concerned, that's actually making money from this thing. Because I've spent pretty much every fucking penny I've made from Frenemies into the show, on merch, into the own resources, buying more equipment for the fucking studio, building the set. It's like, it's so easy for her to complain. She shows up, she gets a guaranteed check every fucking month. And I'm putting all my money on the line. And now I have hundreds of thousands of dollars tied up in merch that I'm probably not going to be able to fucking sell, that my wife worked super hard on, her staff worked super hard on. And now it's like, tough luck, dude. Trisha got paid. And she's complaining about 5%. It blows my mind. And I'm upset about it. I am. I can't hide it. I just am. It's just not fair. It's really not. You know, and the release of this is July 8th. We were planning to do a photo shoot this Thursday. Something she insisted on doing. And we put it together with our resources. We were paying a photographer, someone to produce it. This is all money that we were paying upfront out of our pockets, and never even thought to ask her for money because I don't give a shit, right? In 1 month's time. And she drops the I'm quitting Frenemies video after me doing everything possible to resolve this with her privately. Wow. So like, I got the nerve of her to complain about 5% when I'm literally not making a fucking penny at this point. It's just so disrespectful. It disregards all the hard work we do, not only on the crew, but now on my wife and all the people that worked on the merch. And it's like, okay, well, you know, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, it's just so ironic how she keeps bringing up money. It's like, I'm the one that put my ass on the line every day. I never bring up money. I never complain about money. I never ask her to pay for anything. I'm so open-handed with her. I'm so transparent about everything. And now I'm the one that gets fucking stiffed with like an ungodly amount of merch that I have no idea how I'm going to sell.
He's so desperate.
But good, but you know, she gets her paycheck every month, on time, clockwork, reports.
He's so worried
everything.
about it. You can see the desperation on his voice. He's
and
like,
listen, I'm just going to say this. I fully support her skincare products and everything she brings to the show. I am her #1 hype man. I love when she makes money. I support her. I want her to do well financially all the time. That's why I'm always hyping up her OnlyFans, her skincare, you know, her merch, everything, because I'm happy. I want her to do well. But it's like, you know, she came, she promoted her, you know, skincare, which again, it's a great product. I saw it. It works on her. So I'm like, yeah, go buy it. It's top of the link now. Even on our last episode of Frenemies, it's the top link there. You can go buy her shit and God bless her for it, you know. But it's like, it's easy for her to quit Frenemies after she got this huge plug for her shit and go make a video saying, I'm quitting Frenemies with, you know, like 10 mid-rolls, and then complain about like, I want 5% for production costs. It's just not fair.
that's not fair.
She's I don't know what she wants from me. It's just not fair. It's just so not fair.
It's crazy.
You know,
I feel bad for him. I feel so
she's got all the
bad.
security of getting that check or promoting her shit, and I'm stuck with all the fucking bills. And 5% is like something that she just can't let go ever.
It's crazy.
To talk about it, because I'm so screwed with this merch situation. It's like, I'm so screwed with this merch situation. Thousands of pieces of shit that I don't think anyone's going to care about, honestly, come next month.
Fuck.
And by the way, when we sell that shit, whatever we sell, she can get 50% of the profit. Just like I promised her. Even though she went on Twitter and tried to call me a liar, he's lying. I only get 50%. It's like, Trisha, read the message. She shows a message. Again, I don't know why she's sending our private messages. And okay, she outed me. My icon on WhatsApp is Metamucil. Love that product. She tweets out, she circles, we are splitting the 30%, which is typically our profit margin. It's like, Trisha, just read what I wrote to you. The profit margin is 30%. I'm giving you half of the profits. Do you want 50% of all the revenue? Because I will lose money again.
So it sounds like, right? And you see the text messages, she rounded out like we are splitting 30%, which is typically the profit margin, which is a good profit margin. It's what you want, 30%, right? In any investment, you want to have a minimum of 30% of profit margin, because then it means that you could pay for all your investment and then you still have some profit. That's great, right? And then she says, sounds good. Yeah, okay, cool. Totally cool with that. Your resources and your investing. Your resources and your investing. I'm more than happy with that. I'll show you all the numbers and sales and stuff, obviously. She's like, cool. So by reading this, it already sounds like, okay, she's saying, I'm totally cool with that. Your resources and your investing. So I think that she understood that he was saying we're splitting 30%. I'm trying to like get Trisha's mindset on this one because it's pretty clear to me, right? So he's going to invest on it. And then from the total, the 100% of sales, he's going to pay back his initial investments that clearly she didn't put any money to it. And he's projecting a 30% profit margin. And then whatever is from those, okay, so whatever is over that 30% profit margin, he will probably set aside for restock, right? So they don't have to, so he doesn't have to invest again. So, okay, that sounds reasonable to me, right? You have a 30% profit margin. You're going to have his expenses paid, and maybe perhaps you're still going to have like another little bit over there to do a restock and not have to invest again. But she's making it sound like he's only going to split 50-50 with her 30%. It sounds like she doesn't know what she's reading, right? Oh, I hope she's not, but unfortunately, the amount of following she has, it's just kind of like Jeffree Star. They're just untouchable at this point. He also doesn't have to indulge this. He doesn't. You're correct, Sassy Cat. He doesn't have to renegotiate or agree to a new addition. No, he doesn't. Remember Barstool? Or what is it called? Don't Tell Daddy or Daddy Barstool, Daddy something Daddy podcast. Remember the fight that they had? You know, like they had a fight because of like trying to redo the whole. It's just crazy. It doesn't seem worth to. Yes. Why is he still indulging her? And because she's going to be family, right? That's what I'm assuming it is, because I don't think he would indulge anybody else, right? Right. So she's going to get 15%, which is like half of the 30%. So it's going to be 15%. So that's all she's thinking about. She's thinking that from the 100% of profit, she's thinking about 100, right? He's only sharing with her 30%. So I don't think she knows what a profit margin is, if that makes sense. I don't think she knows that language, right? And he still said that he was going to show her everything. It's not worth, especially when she's quitting all the time. Let her quit. Right. She has worked out, as he said, like 3 times already. Where is her manager? Does she have one? I don't know. I don't know. Good night, Rojo. I don't know if she has a manager, but yeah, her manager should step in. Holy shit.
Apparently, you're the only one that's allowed to make money in this relationship. I really don't understand. We are splitting the 30%, which is typically our profit margin. That's 50%.
Right.
You know, we've been talking about the merch. This was like, she was super gung-ho and passionate about it. Like I said, we're planning a photo shoot this Thursday that we were already put down like $10,000 on.
Shit.
And she just, you know, fuck that, right? She didn't put a penny down on that shit.
Wow.
You know, and by the way, sharing our business profit margins is not public information. Like, there's no reason for her to put out what our profit margin is. That's just not public information. I just don't understand why she's doing that. You know, and then a whole big part of her thing was that we don't ask for her input on anything that she like, and that's just again very upsetting and very untrue. You guys remember back in the beginning of the show, she was complaining on the show that I was texting her too much, asking her too many questions, and wanting to involve her too much in the show. She told me not to bother her. You guys remember that's in the show. Like from the beginning, I've tried to include her and give her as much control and input as she could possibly ever want, and she tells me don't text me so much. It's like, okay, that's nice for you, but we have, like on Sunday night, she goes, don't text me past like 9 or 8 or whatever it is. It's like, nice for you. We're all up preparing for the show. So don't fucking complain that you don't have control and that we don't care about your input when you're basically literally telling me to fuck off because you don't want to deal with this. It's like the responsibility has to fall to someone, me, obviously, and the crew to put on a watchable show. So Sunday night, she's saying, don't text me. It's like, okay, let's do this, guys. And then meanwhile, she's got the chutzpah to come out here and say, they don't ask me for my input. I mean, we've gone out of our way in every imaginable.
Okay.
Like that, the Beetlejuice episode on her birthday. We wanted to do this for her to make her feel loved in a pre-normal situation. You know, I don't want to make this video at all, but like, it's not fair to me to be able to just once again sit and take her be her punching bag and not. In the end, the truth is that I'm very grateful for the experience we've had with Frenemies and all the learning and growing and developing and the amazing growth that our channel's seen as the result of that show. I mean, it's been popular and successful beyond what either of us anticipated, and I have so much to thank Trisha for. I mean. And this isn't like, I'm not trying to like cut her out of my life. This is not me trying to say, I'm not ending things on bad terms with Trisha. I mean, she's my family at this point. She's marrying my brother-in-law. This is not like, I'm not by any means trying to like cut her out of my life. Okay. I cherish her as a friend, as a talent, as an entertainer, as a comedian. I think, you know, the world of her in that regard.
But so you know, nice.
As a partner, it's just, you know, after doing everything possible to make this work and then being shit on the crew and me and the Teddy Fresh and disrespected everybody like as a partner, as a business partner, and then putting out videos and tweets and stuff. It's like, I don't know. So I feel like I owe it to myself and to the crew to explain things as I see them, at least, because we're not sitting together to have this conversation. She put out her side. So, you know, it's just fair for me to put out my side. I owe it to myself now and to everybody, Teddy Fresh and to the crew who worked on all this stuff that's just getting like, you know, dropped.
He's right. He's completely right. And I'm sorry, but she's wrong. Right. So I'm just going to show you guys 3 parts of one of her videos because she has 3 or 4 videos after that. She has a lot of videos after this whole situation. I'm going to even share with you all the amounts of videos that I'm not going to put you through. But this is like, so this is the video stepping down from Frenemies. And then one more thing. And that one more thing is like, I don't know, it's 18 minutes. And then I'm so sorry. And it's just her talking about how she feels that she was okay, how she feels that like nobody understands her, how she feels. And then part 1, eating lies, part 2, eating lies, part 3, eating lies. This needs to be said. I didn't watch, as you can see, I didn't watch part 2, 3, or this needs to be said. I will watch it probably eventually tomorrow or something because it was already 2:50 by the time I finished doing this little bit of research here. and getting like, what is my expectation and my idea of this whole situation, because this is just ridiculous. But I did write down 3 parts on her Ethan's a Liar or Ethan's Lies part 1 that I do want to show you, because I feel like it explains a lot about her tantrum. Some of it. So let me put the video for you guys to see this, because it's going to make sense soon. And then I guess we're gonna go to sleep, or I'm gonna start putting my makeup on so I can, what? Yeah, almost 5. Okay, so I can start filming the other video. Okay, so this video, part 1, Ethan's Lies, on, all right, so on minute 12:14, she again mentions that Ethan only hires his friends, which we kind of already talked about this. It's a company that he's been running for how many years now? It's successful. When you have a staff team who does well, why are you going to change it? You know, not only, as I mentioned before, it's going to be cheaper to just add an extra day if they're willing to work an extra day. You know, as far as insurance money, amounts of employees is gonna rack up insurance, taxes, and all that stuff. Why do you need to incur extra freaking expenses? That's a business. He knows how to run a business. Just sit and talk to him, you know? But she just sees it in a whole other light.
I've hired like fans before. Not that she was like, that's what he's in. That's what I've been seeing the clip of. But he hires people that were fans of his, right? Like AB, I guess Ian, Zach, I don't know for sure, but that's like what I've heard is they were fans. And like, that's really nice and cool. And I'm sure people are like, wow, Trisha, you're such an asshole. You wouldn't want fans to hire you. I would love, Daniel Perez is like one of my closest, and like he came on so many tours that he like paid tickets for. And like when we were on the next tour, I really was like, okay, I want to like hire him. But the problem with it.
So this is the thing, like she's justifying that she wants to hire a friend because she thinks that Ethan hires friends, and they might have become friends over the years because they've been working together, you know, and then maybe, yeah, sure, he hires some employee's girlfriend because this guy's been working for him for so long. Like I've worked in a business where 97% of the time you would only get hired there if another employee told the manager about you, if you were referred by an employee. Because if you are a trustworthy employee and you're saying, hey, I vouch for this guy, that manager doesn't have to do much. That manager doesn't have to sit there and do a super crazy interview to that friend. Obviously, they will do whatever checks and balances they need to do. But if this person is coming with a recommendation, there's like half of the battle right there. So she's just like, she just has no idea. She's in freaking sane. Like, huh? She cannot do basic math. You're correct. I really feel for him. It's clear he's tired of trying to go beyond, above and beyond to multiple times. Trisha, yes, exactly. Yes. No, she can do math, Justin. Yes. If she had just left it at the first video, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Because then, you know, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I just don't feel that none of this is professional of her. I wish YouTube would just ban people for like a month and let them cool off. I think you onto something here, Haley. Adults have the ability to control themselves unless they're suffering from arrested development. And if they AD, then locking them off a platform would just make them act out in some other way. I guess they would act out in some other way, but the problem is that she can... Oh, I could do that. I'll get ready with me. Okay, so maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll take like a 2 or 3 hour nap, or like 7:30 in the morning, because I have to take a plane this afternoon. So I'm gonna film. Maybe I'll do a get ready with me in the morning to just do a kiki. I'm gonna think about it. But if not, I'll do a get ready with me when I can't come back with you guys. When I come back from Brazil, I'm gonna meet my niece tomorrow. or after tomorrow, because it's going to be a red eye. But anyway, so yeah, she could act up anywhere else, but like H3's livelihood is on YouTube. Like she doesn't think about those things. You guys actually mentioned that earlier. But yeah.
For me is like, if I do mess up, if I do screw up, you know, then you have someone that loved you so much and now they're so jaded by you, they're so slighted by you that it all, you know, like any little mishap or something that didn't sit right, like it becomes this big thing. And
no, she makes everything a big thing. But let's move on. And then at 16:28, look what she says, right? And then there's no proof of this, obviously, because it's Ethan's word, right? So
A whole new space. She wanted a whole new crew.
okay, so I honestly
That she wanted a whole new crew for Frenemies because she didn't feel comfortable with them. She wanted a whole new space. She wanted a whole new crew.
okay, so I honestly, I'm not saying this just to be gaslighting. I really don't remember saying I want a whole new crew at all. Because I don't have any, I wouldn't have, because the first thing he said to me when I wanted was like a producer for Frenemies, like to focus on Frenemies. He's like, who do you have? I had someone right away. It wasn't a whole new crew to replace people. It was like, let's get a camera guy, like for our one-off segments on the thing. Let's get, you know what I mean? Like from the bus tour, Ian's like, I'm too shaky for this camera. Like he's not a camera guy.
So she wanted to just like, she didn't want to fire the whole crew. Now it's he say, she say. I'm inclined to believe Ethan. Maybe it was a miscommunication as far as she didn't know how to express to him like, hey, I just want like maybe 1 or 2 people, not the entire crew. Maybe she just said like, oh, I'm not comfortable with this crew. Let's hire some people. And then he took it the wrong way. I'm not going to try to like, I mean, I already did, but I'm going to try to go further and try to speculate what actually she tried to say. And he understood. But in the end of the day, she's saying that she didn't say that. And he's saying that she did, right? And what I think, based on her first example, saying that she wanted to hire her friend, is that she thinks that because she's a part of Frenemies, she can start to try to hire her friends into the company. And then that brings me to minute 15:40, where she actually mentioned something like that. Okay, I'm terrible at this. Okay.
And if people are hiring like their girlfriends, like why not hire my sister? She's like amazing. She came, like I said, she came up with the idea for the bus tour. Like she's, you know, someone that I feel comfortable with, and like she's also really good at that kind of stuff, and like has a different spin and take on things. Like it wasn't like, oh, you didn't ask me to hire her. Like that wasn't it. And it's just so many things are just so misconstrued, like warped and stuff like that. Like that. Like I watched it back and that's not what I said.
So in the end of the day, I think that her problem with Sam is simple as she wants to hire her sister to work at Frenemies. That's kind of like what I gathered from this. She probably has been, he mentioned that she has always been clear that she doesn't want to be bothered. And then all of a sudden she wants to be bothered because she's been doing the show for how long, right? And she sees the success that they've been achieving with the show. And so she's getting greedy. So she started going after the membership and he gave it to her. She started going after merch and he gave it to her. So he's been giving whatever she's asking for, and she's just asking for more and more and more. And now she was trying to put her sister in there, friends in there. And I guess he drew the line. He was like, well, no, this is my production. I'll hire whoever I want. I hired you here. This is how much I spent for this, this, and that. And I think that he draws sand on the line here. And this is only my opinion, okay? I don't know what their contracts say. I don't know if what they're saying here is completely the truth. But I feel like this whole situation is because she is really butthurt that she's unable to put her friends and family to work at H3 and enjoy the money that he's making. She's trying to get the 50-50, or maybe bringing the show to her channel or something along those lines, which I may think that maybe either greedy, I don't know if it's malicious of her, but it's definitely it's definitely bothering her that she sees that all of the success is going to his channel and she's just a paid talent. And you can clearly see that she's not thinking about the fact that she has to do nothing. She just has to show up, or they just need to show up and be pretty and eat pizza and talk shit. Like, this is crazy. It's insane. I just feel like this is so disrespectful, unprofessional. It's just, I want the Rolls Royce. Can I have the freaking Rolls Royce? Holy shit. Oh, hello, Brazil. I owed and showed Fila Brasileiros for 20 years. Oh, you sold Fila? I don't have one now. I miss them so much. Oh, okay. Fila, it's been a while. Wow. Yeah. Her sister is accountant too. Oh, okay. Well, see, this is the thing. Like, H3 is Ethan's company. And Hila has been called a C word, and she was gracious enough to make the merch for them. And I'm sure she didn't make it for Trisha. She did it for her husband because she loves her husband. She's not petty, you know, but the pettiness that Trisha goes about, like, Trisha should think about, like, I'm marrying this girl's brother. Why am I doing this, like, to the family? They're wonderful. Yeah. Not because it's a serious responsibility, but they're really the best I've ever owned. Okay, so the Filas, right? All right, she's talking about the Filas. Oh, I hope, like, yeah. I'm like, yo, I just feel like this whole situation, I can only hope that Ethan finally does not take Trisha back. And if he does, I hope, if by any strike of miracle, whatever, Ethan watches this, I hope that if he does bring her back, he makes a contract where all the lines are crossed, all the T's are crossed, all the I's have their little dot on top, and there's no misunderstanding what her place is on this. Just because she thinks that she's helping a company grow does not mean that she has rights to say who they should hire, to see their ledger, even if Ethan is showing it to her for frenemies because he's being nice, because she's becoming family. Because I'm pretty sure if she was somebody like me who's not marrying Ethan's brother-in-law, he's not going to show the ledger. Here's your salary. Bye. You know? Any other YouTuber with 100,000, 1 million subscribers, he will not do that. He has his own company. She, instead of being grateful, she's being a brat. Fuck. Like, I wish I had as many subscribers as her. I put so much work to it. And to see a person like that is just so gut-wrenching. Oh, it's just so annoying. But anyways, I don't want to sound envious of her. Who cares? I think Ethan believes he was hiring and investing in family, doing this with Trisha. I think you're right. Poor guy, because she doesn't seem them that way. I think you might be right. I don't know. I haven't watched Trisha's life for this long. I'm not sure if she met, what's his name? Abraham? No, I don't want to be. I forgot his name. The husband, the future husband, the fiance. I don't know if she met the fiance while she was already doing frenemies, or if that started after. Let me know down in the comments, or let me know here in the chat if you know if it was before or after. But I hope that he has a drafted contract, if he's willing to do this, you know, the negotiations and everything is, it's, you know, it's set on stone. Because I know if she comes back, people are just going to go back and watch, and it's probably going to be even more people watching, because people are going to want to see what's going to be the train wreck, right? Moses, thank you very much, Sassy Cat. Sorry, I didn't want to I didn't want to sound crazy or mean. But yeah, so I don't know if she met Moses once in frenemies or before frenemies. But that, regardless of that, you know, it became family. You know, it became a family affair. And I think he put up with a lot of her stuff for a long time, and I don't think he should. She met him on the H3 podcast, Justin Graves says. Thank you, Justin. Okay, so it was before that. Okay, cool. So it was a family investment, it looks like. I don't know. I'm utterly irritated and annoyed. I couldn't sleep. And now I'm going to try to sleep because I made pages and pages and pages of trying to have a script for the Crip Show art video that I was going to film this morning. But I don't know. Let's see if I'm going to wake up for it. If not, when I get to Brazil, I'll just do a B-roll and I'll work on it from over there. I'm going to think about it. But this was just driving me crazy. And when I feel this way, I just need to talk. I just need to let it out, you know? When you see all the old nasty tweets Trisha made about Ethan in the past, oh my God, it's crazy. She manipulated her way into not only his family, but now they're coming in for his business. That's what it sounds like. That's what it looks like. She's frustrated that she can't get into his business. Hi, Juliana. Well, here is 4:53. It's almost 5 a.m. here. I am going to Brazil tomorrow. Yes, my brother and my sister-in-law had a baby that we've been highly anticipating for that beautiful girl. And I have a ton of luggage right next to me that you guys can see, but I'll take a picture of it and I'll post it on maybe my Twitter or my Instagram so you guys can see the amount of stuff that I'm bringing to Brazil. But so you have a little idea, I'm bringing a stroller to Brazil. So it's going to be a lot of stuff. And I'm going to be taking my plane around the afternoon. So I want to wake up earlier and try to film a video because some of you guys said that you want me to do some of my commentary on camera because I've been doing most of my commentary in B-roll. So I was planning to do this one on camera, just being like teaming me, but I don't know if it's going to work out. Thank you. Well, it's going to be basically drooling over a baby. I've got my shots for COVID. I did my COVID test, my PCR testing yesterday, or the day before yesterday. I got my results yesterday. So I'm good to go, but I will not dare to leave their house with a 7-year-old infant. So I'm just going to be there drooling over that baby, opening the luggage and trying on little clothes on baby and just like looking at her, you know. And as I promised you guys, I will ask my brother for permission to take some pictures of the room, publish pictures of the baby. I just haven't had the chance with everything that's going on in my life. Plus these YouTubers, what's happening? Crip Show, what's happening? Trisha, what's happening with these people? Oh my God. She's trying to take over and think, yes, she is. I agree. Oh wow, so you're the same time zone. Yeah, you are a night owl. This has been a lot of fun. I'm glad I caught you live. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, Poliana, for the super sticker. I am so glad you guys came in. I am so sad that like this is happening. I was just, it just hurts me inside to see a person like Trisha doing that kind of stuff with the wealth that she has, they have, with the amount of luck. I wish I would sit on my freaking kitchen and just cried and talked all day, several times a day, that a bunch of people would watch me. I tried that on Twitch and I have 9 followers. It didn't work out. Safe travels. I hope you have a fabulous time. Thank you very much, Sassy Cat. As I said, I'm going to try to post a video this week. I'm going to try to edit and film it tomorrow to make sure that I have, as requested, myself on the commentary. If I pass out right now and do not wake up until maybe 9 o'clock, I have my cab coming in at 10:45. So I won't have time to do the video, but I will bring my notes with me and I'll voice over in Brazil. I'm going to stay in Brazil for a little while, so I'll be able to do the video there. And I still have pre-recorded stuff that I haven't touched. So I have a lot for you guys that will be coming. And even if I don't have time, I'll be live. Don't worry about it. But I will be here I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you guys came over. I'm so happy that you guys are here. Like 17 people. I never thought. All these people at 5 in the morning. Me too. This was my first live. Oh, yay. I just found your channel and I'm subbing things. Oh my God. Thank you so much for the sub. I am glad that you like the channel. If you ever need to talk to me or reach out to me, go to my, all of my socials are down below. I generally, most of the time, answer DMs. Unless you hit on me, I won't. But if you just asking me a question or you just want to talk, you want to tell me how your day's been, you just want to have a chit chat, a kiki over DM, I'm always down. So just add me. I do post somewhat on Twitter, but I don't post nearly as much as like all of these other creators that I feel like they're home just waiting for things to happen. I just don't have that luxury. But I try to be as present as I can in Twitter, and I do post a whole lot on Snapchat and a lot on Instagram. So those are two good places to find me. And sometimes I look at Twitter, I tweet somewhat, just add me everywhere. And if you need to talk to me, you can get a hold of me there. But I would appreciate if you do comment here on the videos, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate. I thank you so very much for you guys to watch it, to come here and watch this live with me. And if you are the team that are watching the replay, which is going to be most of you, thank you so much for watching this long live. I hope it entertains you if you're driving or something. I love listening to long videos when I'm driving. So I hope this is something you're going to enjoy. And some of you have told me that some of my videos have not been showing on recommended or have not been showing to you once I release them, even if you have your bell. So just make sure that you try to maybe share the video with your friends. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh my God, it's 2 a.m. in Cali. Oh, thank you so much, Sassy, for being here. Oh, and Poliana, thank you so very much again for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Yeah, that's it, you guys. That's my opinion. Let me know down in the comments. What do you think about this? What do you think Ethan should do? Do you think he should forgive her? Because he's now stuck with a lot of merch, apparently. They haven't even taken pictures for it. They were supposed to take pictures this week, he said. So what do you think he should do? Do you think that Frenemies should be no more? Do you think Trisha should just go do her thing? Tell me what's your opinion down below in the comments if you didn't make it to live. And I hope you all have a great night, all right? Thank you so very much for being here. I appreciate you. Bye.